So let's get into the Seader project.
Okay.
You're someone that when you moved here in 2017, right? It seems like you found a family really quick in like friends. And from that time, I could tell that you had been struggling with trying to figure out like what you want to do. Like, where do you fit? What is your thing? You know what I mean? You tried a lot of different shit. The one thing that was dope about you always, and Jason will say this through and through, is that you were always down to like work. You were always down to like do something. You were always down to like get into something. So with that said, I was pumped when I saw you start the Seader project and you actually like followed through with it. Cause you, like I said, you'd started other stuff before, but didn't really follow through with it. Yeah. When you followed through with the Seader project, it made sense why, because it really culminated a lot of the things that you have an interest in, and it brought all those things together in a way that you could really, you know, find a way to make an impact. And I'll let you talk more about that. But for me, it was awesome to see you get into it. So what is the Seader project? Well, like, let's start with the easier question. What does the Seader project do?
Well, first of all, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I recognize that about myself. Actually, growing up a lot, I was, not that I was always someone that wouldn't finish things, but as I got into my young adult life, I started to realize that about myself. Also, the reason why I put my name on it, to force myself to follow through with it.
Accountability purposes.
Right, exactly. Right. My last name is on it, so you're damn right I'm going to wake up every damn day and work towards this, because otherwise it's not only my last name, it's my whole family's last name. That's all, you know what I mean?
Now your wife's last name too.
Right. We haven't talked about that yet.
Conversation for another day.
I was going to say, that reminds me though, I got to go talk to her about that. But yeah, you're right though. I've always... You've seen Pulp Fiction, right?
Yeah.
Not Pulp Fiction. It is Pulp Fiction. The Wolf.
Okay.
From Pulp Fiction. That's who I really liked I always loved his character, and I always saw a lot of myself in that character.
Okay.
Not necessarily as like someone who's like killer, like just a Swiss Army knife. I always was interested in a lot of things. I always wanted to be good at a lot of things, but never like honed in on something. So like that also brings back to what you're talking about, like not following through with things, because I was always kind of like a squirrel sometimes, or like shiny object. It's just like, oh, this is awesome. And I just want to learn more about it because it's interesting. But I have, over time, like you said, kind of worked through that. And that's why I put my name on it. Anywho, so the Seader project. So my fiance works at Odyssey Aquarium right off the 101 in Scottsdale.
You used to work there too at some point in time.
I did. I worked in the guest relations department. That was the reason we moved out here though, was
to work at Odyssey.
Was for her to work there.
Ah, okay.
So she had a couple of her bosses back at her old job in New Jersey. Got headhunted to be the two curators for fish and for mammals at the aquarium. Okay. So they moved out here with their son. They brought my girlfriend Mary out here for a job, and I was at the point where I was like, I need to decide whether or not I need to be with this girl, or if also in turn, do I want to be with her? Is this a good life move? Right. Now, living in New Jersey, I would border with like living in California. It's stupid expensive. Like if I was still living there right now, I would still be living in my parents' place. That's interesting. I've never heard anyone liken the cost of living there too. Like I didn't know it was that expensive to live there. It's expensive. Like probably like a studio apartment. It's maybe like 500 to 700 feet. It's probably going to be anywhere from like $1,200 to $1,600. Damn. Okay. And that's on like the lower end. Like the mid to higher ones are going to be like $1,800 to $2,500, or if not more. Gotcha. But that's where kind of my love for the natural conservation portion of it comes from working at the aquarium, from being around someone that I share my life with. That taught me kind of the importance of it, and kind of seeing a need for it in the world too, because I really think it's something that gets overlooked. Just in terms of just small things that we can do every single day, just little things that we can do to help. And a little bit, and even with money, a little bit goes a long way. And I tried to show that about like 2 months ago when we did our live stream with Allah. We did we were able to hop on, thankfully, during the month that the National Forest Foundation was matching donations for any donation that came in for the month. I think it was April. Yeah, it was April. So we donated $450, and they matched everything. And $1 would end up planting, each dollar planted a tree. So we ended up being responsible for like over 800 trees. So like I tried to frame that way.
That was going to be my next question too. So like for people who can't understand what 800 trees look like.
I wouldn't even know. I'm trying to think.
Like, would you think that's like more than a football field's worth
I would
of
say
trees?
maybe about a football field, if not maybe possibly a little more.
That's pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, that's quite a bit of trees.
Yeah, a lot of trees. So yeah, just something as simple as that, like we can all make a difference for. Obviously then enter in music, because I love music, and obviously everything that I've done here has been more geared towards electronic music and dance music.
Right.
So that's what we've been kind of incorporating into everything that we've been doing for the live stream. So we go out somewhere that is picturesque, that is aesthetically pleasing, that highlights Arizona, that highlights nature, and then we select an artist to be put there and essentially just play a set there, and we live stream the entire thing. We have a drone in the air. We have a couple different camera angles as well. And then the technology portion of the Seader project comes with all of that gear, all the camera gear, editing, video, all that other stuff, just kind of trying to meld everything into one. And hopefully get to a point where we're doing it once a week. We want to, that's the goal, is to get to be doing it once a week, and not only just with electronic dance music artists, but also with any type of artist, with anyone wants to come, like if even just like a singer, or someone that would come like a country artist and like wants to jam out like an acoustic set. Like, we are able to
accommodate all those things.
Right.
I mean, that's a creative, from the musician side, that would be a creative way to advertise a new project that you're working on or something like that. So I like that. That's dope.
Yeah, and that's kind of that's really the nutshell of what we're doing. What we've been able to do with not each of them, but most of them, is do a fundraiser where we're able to put like a number on the screen with a text to code. So it makes it much easier for the viewer to just text the code, and what it does is it actually sends a link back to the landing page to donate.
Gotcha.
So we try to make it super, super convenient for everyone as well.
It's kind of like those crisis relief fund texts or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, super. The only problem that we've been kind of noticing lately is it's really tough to ask people for money right now, even if it's for $1, even if it's for a great cause. Everyone's struggling right now with money. And we got, honestly, over the last couple weeks or so, we've been starting to try to get more towards this, doing it once a week, because I was like, we can only do it once a month, because it's really hard to ask people for money more than once a month. But we were getting kind of stagnant with our content, and we don't want to do that. So I think we're still gonna do a fundraiser one every month, or maybe every other month, but we're still shooting to be putting out like live stream content just to raise awareness every week. Okay. And then hopefully maybe throw events. I don't know.
Have you looked into like B2B type stuff, like getting sponsorships from like different companies that maybe give like a monthly? Not
yet. Because I don't think that we have enough foundation set yet for me to go talk to anyone about sponsorships or partnerships or anything like that, because they're there, and I think that I have a pretty decent pool of contacts with who I know in like the natural conservation community here in Arizona, that can hopefully get us access to other places. I'm not relying on it, but it's what I'm hoping for.
Right.
It's just to continue to build those relationships with people, be able to